drivers on the continent and many of the top cars as well. This is Patrick Snijers with the Ford Escort, and he has something to worry about today because it's the turn of Marco Alén to come back into competition again. And as Snijers gets away, he knows that the Finn, now well into his 40s with a lot of experience behind him, could be very much the man to watch. The Escort powering away very effectively on those well-known features of Alén setting off on one of his first rallies for quite a long time. Anxious to prove that the Toyota and he can still do the job. Won an enormous number of rallies, but the World Championship eluded him. And the car of the moment, of course, the Subaru. This is Paul Leiter. Anxious to defend the honours of Subaru here. Beat of that Flak 6 engine. Still Lancia, very much a force to be reckoned with. Mark Timmers representing their challenge here. Power on, power off technique. And pressing on to some considerable effect. Number 5. Renault Veret with another Toyota, followed by number 6, the Lancia of Dominic Brunel. For this event, Marc Duez also Escort mounted. And Duez, still a very talented driver and still young enough to make an impression in rallying or racing, really showing that the second of the Escorts can be made competitive. Throwing it through this first stage in very determined style. Looking to become a force to be reckoned with. The comeback for Renault with the Clio Maxi kit car. Bernard Munster entrusted with the debut and making it a good one too. Very determinedly throwing the Renault around. Two-wheel drive, don't forget, the shape of things to come. Opel Team Belgium, Freddie Loy. The Astra now with something to fight for, particularly with Renault in opposition. But getting its power down well, and if not perhaps as spectacular as the Renault, still quick. 15 is the Mitsubishi Lancer of Pascal Smets. Very much on a roll at the moment, Mitsubishi in rallying. Determined to go well. And with a tie for times on stage 1, stage 2 showing every chance of a further battle. Still Snijers, the man leading the way, but piling on the pressure behind the Chirikas. Renault Veret charging up here. The first through of the two. Fifth fastest, ahead of Duez. And this is Marco Alén, who matched times, in fact, on the first stage of the rally with Patrick Snijers. Encouragement from the spectators. Through goes number 7. Redoubtable Marc Duez. Duez too, up to 4th place after the first stage. A man as happy on a circuit as on a rally. And here's the Renault, really still showing the way home, and very impressive indeed on its debut. An impressive show too from the Mitsubishi. grounding or not, certainly determined to stay up among the top half dozen. Subaru also going well, holding on to third place. Paul Leiter proving that he's got what it takes to get in among the top boys. And surprisingly enough, Mark Trimmers with a little Lancia also proving that although this car is now somewhat out of date, it's still competitive. Sixth place, the reward from him after the first stage. But still a lot of work to do for all the drivers in the Bocaux de Spa. On the Bocaux de Spa was of course the rally within a rally. The Citroën Brigade competing with the AX Sports, and very numerous they were too. Number 20 there, top of the list. Gabin Pascal with a 16-valve ZX. As we watch number 40 here, GTI of Jean-Luc Legrand. 41, another GTI, André Pascal. And with the radiator grille flapping in the wind, Francis Leroy. Followed by the similar car of Vincent Deslin. Not perhaps as happy as some of the other Citroëns that we've heard. Anibal Diego. As we look back again at the leader of the rally, now putting home his advantage away from the opposition. And no question about it that Patrick Snyders has got the legs here of the Toyotas behind, dropping the odd second or so in spite of every effort. Marco Allen having to give best, and this is the Subaru, still very much on the pace. Paul Leiter with the Impreza showing what a good rally car this is. That beat of that Flak 6 engine can't be mistaken anywhere. Second of the Works Toyotas, Renault Variad. The drivers reveling in these wet conditions, except for one, and this the very unhappy Lancia, Dominique Brinil, with the car really not on top. Tending to misfire, not running well low down. Marc Duez showing his knowledge of the Spa circuit and putting it to good effect here. But again, not getting down perhaps just when he wanted to in that lower gear, losing a bit of time, accelerating away here through the car park section. Nevertheless, an effective performance by the Belgian, and an effective performance too by the new Renault, the Maxi, going extremely well, like the proverbial clock, sounding and looking superb. And quite putting to shame the Opel opposition. Freddie Loy, almost a pedestrian pace in comparison with that of the new Renault. But using every inch of the road and the grass as well in an effort to keep up. The Mitsubishi, still Pascal Smets going well. The Lancer leading Group N, but obviously not on pace with the leading trio. And a big car to throw through some of these tight gaps. Service and the addition of lights very necessary as they come on towards the night sections of what's proving to be an extremely tough rally indeed. During the night, the gearbox begins to wilt on the Ford. Briefly, he loses the lead. But with a new gearbox aboard, he's able to make up time. The new leader was briefly Marco Allen, reveling in perhaps a chance to show what he could do. Everyone thought he could win here. Unfortunately, he ran out of road. The second of the Toyotas too, proving to be quite an effective tool. Renard Verriat still maintaining his pace and still at this present time ahead of Marc Duez. And the Renault sounding just as sweet as ever. Lancia falling back a little. Mark Timmers finding difficulty in these conditions. Group N still the same. Pascal Smets. While the Opel of Freddie Loy still trying to catch that Renault. Time to talk to the leaders. Being there in the lead. And hurls it round to considerable effect.